A place where souls may mend your ailing mind. You will lose everything once branded.
The first Dark Souls drops us into a world that feels broken and fading. The Age of Fire, once bright and full of gods, is now crumbling into darkness. Our character, the chosen undead, begins as nothing more than a prisoner marked by the curse of undead. Slowly, piece by piece, we uncover that our purpose is to link the fire, to sacrifice ourselves to keep the Age of Fire alive for just a little longer. The game's world is harsh and unforgiving. Every corner hides danger, every enemy has the power to kill us if we are careless, and yet the beauty of it is undeniable. Ancient castles, ruined cities, dark forests, places that feel alive with history. Bosses like Ornstein and Smough, Artorias, and Gwyn himself are not just obstacles, they are legends. Symbols of a dying age, reminders that this world once had a glory. Dark Souls 1 is about discovery, challenge, and slowly realizing the weight of cycle we are caught in. The second game in the Dark Souls series takes us to Drangleic, a kingdom built long after the first game's events. The curse of the undead still lingers, and we once again step into the role of a hollowed soul searching for meaning. This time, though, the story shows us how kingdoms rise and fall endlessly. Drangleic's king, Fenric, tried to fight against fate but fell into ruin. He left behind a kingdom full of broken people and fading memories. The connection between Dark Souls 1 and 2 is clear. Even though the names change and the lands shift, the curse and the cycle remain the same. The flame fades, someone takes up the journey, and the history repeats itself. But in this repetition, every struggle is still real, every fight still matters. Dark Souls 2 teaches us that even in this cycle, our choices still carry weight. The next game in the Dark Souls series feels like the closing chapter of it all. The fire is weaker than ever, the kingdoms are nothing but ashes, and familiar faces from the past return, broken and twisted by time. We play as the Ashen One, a being tasked once more with deciding the fate of the flame. The Lords of Cinder, who once linked the fire, now refuse their duty, and we are forced to hunt them down. The game feels like a reflection of everything that came before. The world is collapsing in on itself. Legends are fading, and all that's left is choice. Do we link the fire once again, or do we let it die? Or do we take the fire for ourselves? Dark Souls 3 shows us the end of the road. A world on the edge of nothingness, where even gods and heroes cannot escape the fading of time.
My foil, right away.
Dark Souls games are famous for being difficult. They kill you over and over again, sometimes in ways that feel unfair, but that suffering is not there just to punish the player. It's what makes the game powerful. Every failure teaches us something. A trap we didn't see, an enemy's move we didn't predict, a boss's patterns we didn't learn. The suffering is the teacher. It forces us to slow down, to pay attention, and to respect the world we are in. And when we finally succeed, when the boss that seemed impossible finally falls, the feeling of joy is real. It's joy that exists only because of the suffering that came before it. Without the struggle, there would be no triumph. The joy of Dark Souls is not just in escaping the suffering, but in embracing it, learning from it, and rising above it. The game teaches us that suffering and joy are not opposites, they are connected. One gives birth to the other. When we look back at the Dark Souls trilogy, two truths stand out. The first is about the struggle and growth. In each game, we begin weak, fragile, cold, and lost. The world does not adjust to us. We must rise to meet it. The lesson is clear. Growth only comes through the hardships. Without the struggle, there is no strength, no progress, no reason to continue. The second truth is about loneliness and connection. The journey of an undead often feels isolating. We walk through empty ruins, fight alone against towering monsters, and wander through dying worlds. But even in that loneliness, there are signs of others. Messages on the ground, phantoms of fellow players, allies we can summon. Dark Souls reminds us that even in our most painful battles, we are never truly alone. These two ideas, the idea of growth and struggle, and finding connection within loneliness, are what gives Dark Souls its meaning. They remind us that suffering is not the end, but the path forward, and that even in darkness, there are sparks of light. That is the true joy of its suffering.